The Coachella Music Festival makes a lot of money, possibly as much as $27 million per day. For those of you wondering, that is $1.125 million per hour, or $18,750 per minute. And you are to blame. Let's take a look at where all that money comes from. There are three main sources of income for Coachella. And no, we're not considering the fact that people will buy Coachella tickets and resell them on websites like StubHub for sometimes 80 to 100% more than what they actually retail for at Coachella. So therefore, we're left with, number one, the actual original ticket sales. Original tickets sold for $429 in 2019 for Coachella. But folks, if this was a video about tickets, that'd be boring. There are two more sources of revenue. The number two source of revenue for Coachella, upsells. If you want to sleep on a tent, you have to pay for that. If you want to sleep in a car, you have to pay for that as well. If you want to sleep in a car and have that car be in a preferred parking spot so you could sleep in a preferred parking area, you pay extra. And if tents and cars are not good enough, glad that ran through your head because there are options for you, then there are some incredible accommodation packages to make sure you feel the absolute best experience possible while at Coachella. And these packages can range anywhere from $3,000 upwards to $10,000, depending on whether you want a luxury tent on the El Dorado Lake or you want the safari package. Because who wouldn't want the safari package in California's desert just outside of LA in April? Then the third source of revenue, well, splits. That is, splits on merchandise, food, and beverages, and possibly even hotel fee splits are what lead to the third source of revenue for Coachella. You didn't really think all of that food and beverage money went straight to the food or beverage vendor, did you? Nope. In fact, Coachella might take as much of 35% of whatever you pay for food and beer for themselves. That also means that t-shirts and other goodies that you buy while you're at Coachella, yep, you guessed it, Coachella gets a split. So when we add up the cost of admissions, upsells, and beverages, we get to a gross revenue for the Coachella Music Festival, and then we can sort of divide out to figure out how much you're worth to Coachella. In 2017, the revenue for Coachella was $114.6 million, making it one of the most profitable music festivals throughout the world. It's also one of the most loved music festivals by celebrities, including Paris Hilton herself, who absolutely love and won't miss a Coachella experience. Now in 2017, if we divide out the gross revenue by the amount of attendees, each attendee was worth about $456 to the music festival. That means ticket revenue, upsells, and splits, for a total of $456 per person that attended as a profit to Coachella. But there's a difference between profit and net profit, as in take-home pay. You see, a singer like Beyonce might be able to capitalize on a fee of $3 to $5 million simply to show up and perform at Coachella. And now, while I say simply, maybe I'm just jaded, because when a singer like Beyonce makes on average over $5 million per night on tour, from stats based on her 2016 Formation tour, you start wondering why there's a pay gap in the United States. But politics aside, beyond the $3 to $5 million Coachella has to pay for these top celebrities to make an appearance, Coachella also has to provide special amenities for them. That is, acre-plotted land for these celebrities to have their own zoned-off friends and family lots, their own private security, and for some people, like Jagger, their very own custom indoor and air conditioning field so they can run sprints to warm up for their act during the hot summer days. Now, sometimes the festival gets lucky and they end up locking down rappers like Cardi B for just $70,000 per weekend. But that was before she blew up. That is, she signed her contract for 70 grand per weekend of pay, then blew up, and then had to fulfill the contract. Guess she could have demanded more with her popularity now.
I'm getting paid for Coachella like 70 bandos.
Obviously, artists are going to take a massive chunk of the revenue from Coachella, but what is a music festival without musicians? Well, a music festival without musicians would probably be just as bad as a music festival with musicians, but no bathrooms or highways to get you there. That is, Coachella has even contributed to expanding highways to allow easier access to the Coachella Valley and help people enjoy their time at the Coachella Music Festival even more. Obviously, that is topped by the free water that's given out, the misters, the bathroom facilities that are constructed, and the endless number of trash collectors. That is literally people paid solely to walk around and collect trash, then sort it for recycling so that you don't have to trip or deal with trash on the floor. Because who wants to find a dumpster while you're enjoying a music festival? Now, in addition to this contribution, Coachella also generally pays a tax of around $5 per ticket to the city of Indio, and music festivals in total now make up almost 5 to 10% of the city of Indio's entire operating budget. That is, if these festivals didn't happen here, Indio would have a revenue of 5 to 10% less to spend on their city. I think it's pretty clear that the Coachella Music Festival makes a lot of money and has some expenses. But just what could that profit margin look like? Well, according to Fool.com, that is Motley Fool's Fool, they estimate Coachella's profit margin at around 46%. Now, I think that's pretty high. So what I'm gonna do, because they're estimating just like we are in this video, and full disclosure, the stats in here, while they're taken from many different sources, could be totally wrong, and Coachella, don't sue me, bro, because I know you're into suing companies. But maybe they deserved it. All I know is I'm just making a YouTube video. So let's go with maybe a watered down profit margin here, and let's figure out what you are individually worth to the owners of Coachella. That is, when you pay your ticket and you pay your food and you buy stuff at Coachella, how much are you individually worth to the company that runs Coachella? When you show up, what number do they see in their eyes that say you are money in their pocket? Let's do the math. Over the past few years, Coachella has seen a growth in revenue of upwards of 28% on average. Since the last statistic we have ended in 2017, let's extrapolate using a 20% growth in revenue per year. If we take 114 million of revenue in 2017, and we grow that by 20% for 2018, and again by 20% for 2019, Coachella should have a gross revenue of somewhere around $165 million. For a 6-day event, that works out to just over $27 million per day in gross revenue. Now, while Motley Fool thinks the profit margin might be around 46%, if we take a more conservative profit margin of 30%, we'll find out that the Coachella company net just about $49.5 million in 2019 from a 2-weekend music festival. And that's not even to mention the bluegrass country-inspired Stagecoach Festival that happens just a couple weeks after Coachella ends. Now, could we call that passive income? Well, now, if we assume, and these are just assumptions, that the growth of attendees from 2017 to 2019 has gone from 250,000 people to 300,000 tickets sold, and we divide the estimated revenue, basically, we'll get to a value of about $550 per person for you attending Coachella. That is, even if you buy that $429 poverty ticket and nothing else, you'll still end up probably making Coachella an average of $550 thanks to splits on beverages, the tents you buy, or whatever upsells you end up falling victim to. Or you don't, but other people do, like the safari excursion. Or safari tent. Well, if we take the guest profit margin of 30%, you are worth about $165 into the pockets of the owners of the Coachella Organizing Corporation. In other words, for every one of you walking through that gate, just think $165, $165, $165 net profit to the owners. Every time you get that $10 mimosa, boom, $3 to the owner. You want a $14 egg sandwich? No problem, that's $4.20 to the owners. And why would we feel bad about that, other than the fact that maybe the Coachella owners might be donating or might have donated to some questionable political organizations in the past?
Get out, you treacherous piss flap.
Comment below if that bothers you. Maybe the real way to go is to sell tri-tip sandwiches, because I also realized that even after the split with Coachella, somebody selling thousands of tri-tip sandwiches at Coachella walked away with $20,000 of profit thanks to selling sandwiches at this 2-weekend event. I'll take $20,000 of profit in a 2-weekend event any weekend. Now that you realize your attendance is worth about a net profit of $165, let's look at the actual economic impact that Coachella has on the entire region. Well, once we add together flights, hotel stays, the travel that it takes to get you there, including car travel, Ubers, food, and everything else in addition to your flights and your stay and your tickets, Coachella and Stagecoach combined contribute around $700 million to the global economy. So folks, for all of you going to Coachella, which I really do encourage all of you to go to Coachella, thank you for helping forestall another economic recession by keeping our dollars in motion. And a big thank you as well from the local hotels, which tend to raise their prices from an average of $150 per night to an average of around $400 to $450 per night for the weekends of the Coachella Music Festival. Thanks for watching, and if you're looking for some more analytical insights into real estate investing and making some passive income for yourself, becoming a dominator in real estate sales, we've got 2 excellent courses for you linked below, one for the real estate agents and one for real estate investors, which could be aspiring investors or highly experienced investors. Hope to see you there, where you get to talk to me in our private live streams, ask your questions, and have your deals and your marketing analyzed. Again, whether you are an agent or an investor, we've got a course for you. Check the link in the description below. Hope you all had fun at Coachella 2019, and thank you again so much for watching. Follow me on Instagram as well. Thanks. Bye.